So I would love to just start with getting like the Cliff Notes version of how you got started all the way up until like where you are now.
Yeah, totally accidental. I never planned on doing hair. I actually was going to go to college for chemistry, and I wanted to be a forensic scientist.
What?
Yeah, I just like chemistry was like the easiest subject for me. Then my mom said when you turn 18, you either work full time or you go to school full time, but it's one or the other. So I'm like, okay. I already worked since the day I turned 14. I've had a very strong work ethic. I will always thank my mother for that. I was never handed anything, but I realized very quickly going to college, and like, I can't sit in a classroom and do book work. I'm 2D ADHD. My grades were good, but like focusing gave me like so much anxiety. So I had a couple friends who did hair, and on my one day off a week, I would hang out with them, and I'm like, I can do that. Oh my God, that looks like so much fun. So I enrolled at hair school. I actually had to pay for it myself, which I'm happy for now, because I guess when you put your own skin in the game, you appreciate it and you take it more seriously. Very quickly, when we got to the chemical side of hair, doing like coloring and perming and learning all of that, I'm like, oh, this is so much science. This is so up my alley. So I fell into it that way. And then graduated, and I knew hair, I was always kind of taught like, oh, you know, women do it and they do it because their husbands support them and they do it for fun. I'm like, I don't think that's true at all. I want to make this my career. So I went to a really nice salon in Andover. I got mentored by the owner. I will give him credit. He put me through education every single Monday. That's all I got every Monday was classes, which I'm so thankful for. And very quickly, about a year and a half later, I ended up coming closer to here, working at a salon in Tewksbury. And I grew a lot from there. I owe my friend Kate now, she was one who basically took me under her wing when I got there. And she helped me have the personality I have now. So I used to be quiet and look down at the ground. And like,
what? Wait, what?
Yeah, I was so timid. I used to cry. I'd be mixing color and put it on their head and be like, I don't know if it's gonna be okay. And she's like, there's no crying in hairdressing. Get your big girl panties on and get out there. I'm like, okay. So everyone can blame her for how I am. But yeah, I thought that was my forever home. And then around 2018, I decided I needed something a little bit more. So I ended up going out booth renting, and very quickly realized with booth renting, it was nice, but I needed to have a little more control of the space. So when we got shut down during COVID, and none of us had income coming in, I decided to sign a lease on a space, completely gut it, and spend a lot of money, I won't tell you the number, renovating 500 square feet. And then opened that, thought that I was done, just wanted my own space, and then very quickly I had some staff from the salon that I left over a year prior to that reach out to me saying they wanted to work with me. So that was very humbling, but also terrifying. So they came, and then we very quickly outgrew that space, and I'm like, crap, now what do we do? So I happened to stumble upon this, and then 2 years after we signed a lease in Chelmsford, we ended up moving here and tripling our square footage.
Wow. So you've been literally everything in the industry, from like assistant to team based to booth renting, and then going out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And you were super busy in your space by yourself.
Yes.
And just kind of wanting to be by yourself. And then you have these people desiring to work for you, and you have this overflow of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you quickly outgrow that space, and now you're here. But you like didn't intend on being a boss. So how do you decide at that point, like what kind of salon culture you want to have and how you want to like present yourself as a salon to everybody?
I guess the biggest thing for me was I knew what didn't work in other places that I've worked, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a learning experience, I feel like. And I just know what I was always looking for. So if I was going to be the person in charge and the person leading that group, I wanted to make sure that I was doing for them what I would have wanted to have done for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays with everyone being in suites and wanting to go up on their own, trying to keep a commission-based salon, we have to kind of change how they work and what the rules are, and you know how much leniency we have as far as flexibility.
Yeah.
So I just try to give to them as much as possible to show that I am going to be a leader for you, but I'm also fair and I'm rooting for you the whole time.
Yeah. And you also, on top of running the salon, are also working full-time behind the chair.
Yes.
And how many hours a week are you taking clients?
I made a deal for myself for 2024. So I was doing like between 50 and 55 hours behind the chair.
Wow.
I have it down to 38 right now.
Okay.
So
that's a big jump down, and that's still a ton of hours.
Yeah.
And okay, and then you're running and then on top of that, you're working for Kevin Murphy as an educator.
Absolutely, yeah. And actually, yeah, just getting promoted this year to the next ranking on that, which means I'm going to be even busier. So I dedicate my teaching every Monday, and then they have flexibility. If they need me on a Wednesday, I would be available for that.
Wow.
But we make it work.
Yeah. So how do you make that all work?
I don't sleep a lot.
Okay.
Which is fine. But I guess like when you have a super supportive partner, it helps. And then when you have such a passion and a desire for the business, I don't ever feel like I'm working. It's not like, oh, I dread coming here. I'm always just excited because there's always something that I'm coming up with and like, let's try this, see what this does. And I get really good feedback and even input from my staff, which is super helpful.
Yeah, I know. I feel like you're always changing and innovating all the time. And even this year, I'm seeing like now, not only do you have Fringe Hair Studio, but you now have Fringe Weddings.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
I'm ever so lucky to have a wonderful coworker with Kevin Murphy. Her name is Kashmir. She's been on Newbury Street for her entire career. She has won Best of Boston multiple years. She's gotten the cover of Boston Magazine for her bridal work. So she's our bridal specialist. And myself and Brianna have always loved doing weddings, but it's always the two of us. So trying to find like another friend, to help us and like jump in. And now that we have Kashmir, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, this is the direction we want to go. We already love it. She's a pro at it. She actually developed a class for Kevin Murphy that's specifically for bridal work.
Wow,
Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so having her has been a huge game change.
Wow. Okay. So let me just cap all this up. So you're working behind the chair almost 40 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
You're running a salon.
Mm-hmm.
You're working for Kevin Murphy, and now you're doing Fringe weddings on the weekends.
Mm.
I actually think you have more minutes in a day than I do. Like, how do you do all that? That is incredible. So since you guys just started this brand, Fringe Weddings, do you still have availability for 2024 that people should know about?
Yeah, definitely, because we're just building it and we just created our second Instagram page dedicated just for that. We have definitely been getting more inquiries. We have a few this summer, we have a few in the fall coming, but we definitely have enough availability. I just try to say the sooner the better because most of them are Saturdays, and like my Saturdays are booked until the end of the summer right now.
Yeah.
Brianna, who's our amazing makeup artist, her Saturdays are booked until I want to say the second or third week of May. So we can do some shuffling, but the sooner people get in, then game on. Right?
Awesome. Game on.
Yeah.
And the weddings are, I mean, the hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. So, okay, and then what do you, so part of your goals for 2024 was to take off this wedding, like to take off with the wedding stuff, and also cut down behind the chair here. So do you have anything else in store coming up for 2024? Resolutions, ideas, what's going on?
There's always ideas. We just brought in a clinical esthetician, so we can add that aspect into it, which means bouncing off of our weddings, we're going to start doing packages for brides that we're going to offer basically bundles that, getting your skin ready for wedding season, because obviously pictures when they zoom in, they're all high def, you want flawless skin. So we've created actually a specialty facial that's called the bridal facial, and it really helps actually like push collagen back in the skin and gives more fullness and suppleness to the face. So rounding that into it, as well as an additional service that is coming that we can't talk about yet.
An additional service that you can't talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's going to be really exciting. Like I say, I know it's going to blow up like crazy, and nobody around here offers it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's all I can.
That's all you can tell me.
I can't say
so no one has it. No one's doing it, and it's a secret, and it's coming.
Yep.
When?
If things go as they're supposed to, I'm hoping mid to end February. So really soon.
Yeah, that is really soon.
We're just waiting for one key thing to arrive.
Is this in relation to Kevin Murphy?
To a degree. I will say Kevin Murphy has a saying that goes with their entire line, and it's he compares his products to skincare for the hair, and I guess we can leave it at that.
Ooh, very exciting. Okay, so you're also doing bridal facials, which is awesome. But I know that you do more than that too here. That's almost like full package services for all of your brides and wedding parties.
Correct.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we'll do everything from obviously hair and makeup on the day of, and then it's also important to prep and get yourself ready for the wedding. So we're actually in the process right now of creating the perfect packages for brides that do want to come in, between offering them different facial services, obviously bridal being the most popular because of the collagen and how it helps with suppleness and making the skin feel a a little fuller and more even for the first 72 hours of having that service done. We also offer full body waxing, which is important. Spray tanning. I feel like every bride wants to have this gorgeous bronze glow. We also do lash extensions, so some brides don't want to do Worcester lashes and they want to have like the full glam the day of. So we literally can offer all of that. And like I said, we're wrapping into a package right now that if they sign on and they sign a bridal contract with us, they would get a percentage off of all of these services between the time when they sign on to the day of their wedding, to get them in a good routine.
Love it.
Mm.
So like full blown one-stop shop for everything that they need.
Yep.
Amazing.
And then we also make sure the day of for their wedding, we have these cute little, it's like a little drawstring canvas bag with our logo on it, but we make sure we put them with their essentials for the day of. So they have, a mini can of hairspray, there's extra bobby pins and safety pins, breath mints. We give them makeup wipes to take their makeup off at the end of the night, and we also give them a little packet of aspirin in case they have a hangover in the
Oh
morning.
my god, this is so cute and efficient. I love it.
So just
That's
little
awesome.
touches like that is what I think hopefully will make us stand out.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's amazing. Okay, and you're from Chelmsford, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay, and you started your original, 500 square foot space in this town where you're from. You know everybody there, right? Super comfortable. And then you hop over to Tewksbury, where we are here.
Yeah.
How familiar were you with Tewksbury?
I might have driven through Tewksbury 2 or 3 times my entire life.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. So it was definitely an adjustment.
Okay, so tell me about how you, just kind of immersed yourself in this community, because it is a pretty tight-knit community.
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
It's definitely a smaller town. Just like I feel like Chelmsford is a smaller town, but I was part of it, so I felt like I was right at home. So coming to another small town, I knew very quickly I needed to show who I am and show who the business is. Who the business is. So the biggest thing for me was joining the Chamber of Commerce. I feel like they're a great support. They're all about giving back to the community and keeping things local and keeping small businesses thriving. So joined them very quickly, and I think it accidentally happened. I don't know how, but I became one of the part of a committee team. I thought I was just signing up to assist on something, and it became where once a month we have a meeting through Zoom or sometimes in person, and we talk about any events that we're going to be hosting. So I've just kind of jumped into that as well.
Right, fully immersed yourself in it. Love it.
I definitely want to show the town we're here to stay, and I want to give back and be involved as much as possible.
Love that.
Just as if it's my own hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Very cool. I feel like we really nailed